You're welcome back. Now, some sports enthusiasts and supporters of the Black Stars want coach Kwesi Appiah to make changes for Ghana's next match if we are to make it through to the quarterfinals. The excited fans told Komladum after Ghana's 2-0 win against Guinea-Bissau, they want the big-name players to step up to the occasion.
In the end, it was a game of two halves. The mood among these fans after a barren first half told a story of disappointment. Anxious, impatient, frustrated and sometimes troubled, they kept their eyes fixed onto the television screen, looking out for the least of scoring opportunities. At the break, these fans, though unhappy, were hopeful of a more improved second half.
Some of the chances that they have been missing, that's our worries.
Second half of them, they more changes because you're striking one wine. Yeah, you want to be a boy, you're penny, you're busy winning match. And to match me, I said, Master, what you're striking ball, elbow, be to me, floor, elbow, ultimate, what's when you and you went to Master Bono. And so higher, as a what they want the coach to effect those changes that will bring the needed win.
In himself, second half, within 10 minutes, there, me and Sanka may support to me.
It won't take long after the blast of a whistle for the start of the second half. Ghana's Jordan Ayew held his line, went past his marker and planted the ball into the top left-hand corner of the opponent's net. A beautiful goal, sending rapturous cheers.
All right, so now I'm joined in the studio by my colleague and Joy Sports editor, Nathaniel Atto. Nathaniel, your reactions to what the fans were saying that they want the big-name players to make it in the next lineup?
I don't exactly get it when we say big-name players. By default, we have a bit of a situation here in that we do not have a standard starting 11. The default situation has been brought about because we had a suspension and we had an injury, a major injury. The major injury went to Christian Achu. His tournament is over, so he has to go back to England to get treatment. And then also, that of John Boy, the suspension, which rendered him unable to play our second game against Cameroon. Now, away from that, let us just remember that the Black Stars have just settled into this tournament. Unfortunately, we had to use the first two games to find our rhythm and find our space and the way we play. For me, it is also important that we discover a certain playing rhythm and a certain playing pattern. The reason, for instance, why South Africa won on home soil, was because the players back in 1996 had played together for a long time. They knew each other. There was a lot of telepathy. And you need that when you are pursuing ventures such as the Africa Cup of Nations. So it is very important that we we measure our expectations of this team, and also we measure the criticism and the demands that we make of the team. If we start talking about making wholesale changes and all of that, we may just end up messing the tone that we've set for this tournament. Look, Ghana has played 3 of the most difficult games at the ongoing Africa Cup of Nations. Like it or hate it, Ghana has played 3 of the most difficult games at the Africa Cup of Nations. Try to debate me on this, and I'll tell you that the defending champions of this tournament were unable to beat the Black Stars. Okay? Now, these same defending champions went ahead to play against a Beninois side that played against the Black Stars and played a tough game to a draw, a 2-2 draw. Okay? Now, many people criticized, oh, we couldn't beat Benin, blah, 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 blah. But listen, go back to the game. See how the Beninois players seized our midfield and rendered it almost useless. They ran at us, they were physical in the game, and you could say the same about the game against Cameroon. I mean, Cameroon have always been known for their tough conditioning. So that if you're playing a group game against Cameroon, and it's possible for you to go 120 minutes in a group game, they can go 120 minutes with you because of their relative good conditioning. Now, in the same way, this third game saw Guinea-Bissau, who were lowly rated, come at us and always use the wings and do a lot of counter-attacking. They ran at us and they made sure that they wore our players out when it comes to the little touches here and there. So it's been 3 very difficult games. We're settling in, and I think that if Coach Kwesi Appiah has to make any sort of tweaking, it has to be very, very little. For me, Jordan Ayew has vindicated himself and has vindicated his choice to be the lead striker in this tournament. Yes, he could have been better, but at the end of the day, you also need a certain stroke of luck. I think that is what normally eludes us when we're on stages like these.
Luck. We've been unlucky. But yeah, we played three good games. But you know something that I've noticed or observed in these 3 matches, or the competition as a whole, we are underestimating some of these non-favorable sports countries like Benin, as you mentioned, and Madagascar. We didn't see that coming. Madagascar scored Nigeria, which is a huge football nation, 2-0. So I mean, some of these we can't really underestimate some of these countries going into the match. But we are meeting Tunisia next, right?
Tunisia have been unable to beat us on the stage of the Africa Cup of Nations, just like Ghana has been unable to, or Ghana is unable to beat Cameroon on the same stage.
Right.
Out of 7 games played, Ghana has won 6, and so we have an almost 95% record against Tunisia. What then it will mean is that Tunisia will come into this game all guns blazing. They're playing within their zone, so they will be the more comfortable side. Right. They will have a lot more support going for them. And support is very, very crucial when you have stages like these. Go and ask the pharaohs of Egypt and see what home support has done for them. So for me, it's going to be yet another difficult game. And I think that when good things are coming your way, it always comes this way. You have to fight, and you have to break your back to the minutest detail to get the job done. And I think that is exactly what is happening.
I see.
I do not see Tunisia having a go over Ghana this time around, because like I said, Ghana has just settled in the tournament. I think that we're going to play probably one of our best games, and we're going to have the best, some of the best output against Tunisia in the second round.
All right, many thanks, Nathaniel Atto, with his thoughts there on our upcoming match and our just ended match, the match we just played yesterday. But that's a wrap for me and my team here at the News Desk. For more news, log on to myjoyonline.com. But stay tuned, because coming up next is JNI.